Risk Reward AFL. So our goal for this module is for us to be able to create an AFL to be able to compute the risk and reward ratio and also the percentage upside and downside based on the horizontal lines we draw. So let's open AMI Broker. So let's say we draw a horizontal line. Let's say this is our resistance, and let's draw another horizontal line. Let this be our support. So there. So based on this AFL, it should output the percentage downside from the current price and also the percentage upside from the current price. So here we can see that we have a downside of negative 3.46% and an upside of 41.54%, which gives us a risk reward ratio of 11.99. If we move these lines, AMI Broker will automatically compute it. So there. So if we place our resistance here and our support here, AMI Broker computes the new risk reward ratio and also the percentage upside and downside. The study ID is used to get the values of the object drawn in AMI Broker. So with this horizontal line, double click on it and you'll see here the study ID. The study function lets us get the value of the horizontal line drawn in the chart. The function is used as study ID, chart ID, and the scale. So the parameters that we will be using is the study ID. So this is the study ID and the chart ID. The chart ID identifies the chart pane where the chart was shown. So this is the study ID. So for this line, the green one, we marked it with the study ID of SU. And for the red one, we marked it with the study ID of RE. So now, let's go to the chart ID. So the chart ID identifies where the chart pane was drawn. It can be found by opening the parameters, axis and grid, and here you'll see the chart ID. Or if you're working on the chart itself, you can use the get chart ID function. So for this chart window, this is the chart ID. It will be a fixed value depending on the chart that you'll be editing. So if we get the chart ID of the volume chart, you'll see it's another different value. So now, getting the value of the line. So for us to be able to compute this one, we'll need to get the value of 11.04. To do this, we create a variable of SU. Then use the function study SU, then get chart ID. We're using this function. We're using the get chart ID function since we're already drawing it. We're getting the values on the same chart that we're using. So for the support or SU. So this is the code that we will be using. We're using the last value since this one outputs an array, but the last function is used so that we'll be able to get a single value instead of an array. It will get the very last value of the object drawn. So after that, we'll be computing for risk reward ratio. So this is the formula of the risk and reward ratio. So first, we need to pass the values of the line using this. Then once we have it in the SU and RE variable, we can now compute for the risk and the reward. So after we compute for the risk and reward upside or downside and the risk reward ratio, we will be using the plot text to display the value on the screen. So the plot function is used like this: plot text, and we need the text that it will show, the X and Y coordinate, the color, the background color, and the Y offset. So for the text, we'll be using the function number to string to convert the numbers to string. X is the X coordinate. This value is usually based on the bar count. We want to show it after the last bar, so we'll use the last value bar index. So the bar index gets the value of the bar. So Army Broker usually computes it based on the number of bars shown on the screen. Army Broker computes it based on the number of bars. So the first bar could be bar 1 or bar 0, and the last bar is the number of bars here. So what we need is the bar index of the very last bar. So this is why we'll be using for the value of X, it's the last value of the bar index. So Y is the Y coordinate. This value is based on the price. So we'll be using the value that we get using the study function. In our example, that value is passed to the SU and RE variables. Y offset. This one adjusts the position of the text relative to the Y coordinate. So if you'll see here, so we have the first argument is a text value. So here, num to string reward. So you could see we'll first output the reward. So for the reward, this is the percentage upside. So 1.2 here is the output. It means that it will give an output up to 2 decimal places. So since it's text, we want to add a percentage sign. Then we'll also display the risk reward ratio. So 41.64 is this part. Then the percentage sign and the slash is this one. Then we output the risk reward ratio. The next is the X coordinate is the last value, and the Y coordinate is for the resistance. So the Y coordinate is the value of the price. And color green is the color, and color white is the background color. And we have a Y offset of 10. So let's say if we remove the offset, let's make it 0. There. It will output it exactly on the price. So let's just make it 10 to make it look better. The same thing goes if we want to plot the risk. So the risk is simpler since it's just the percentage there and add the percentage sign. So it's the same. So for the x coordinate, you want to display it on the very last bar, and for the y coordinate, it should be displayed just above the price. So for the screener, we will be using the same code, but instead of getting the chart ID using the function getChartID, we will be manually encoding the chart ID of the chart. So this part is used to display the output on the chart. So now let's make an exploration. So the difference is, instead of using the getChartID, we'll be using the chart ID. So 1219. So same formula. The only difference is we need to use the add column function to output the values. So we'll output the risk, reward, and the risk reward ratio. So tools, send to analysis window, and let's click on explore. Here. You can see now that the percent to resistance is 41.64 and the percentage to support is 27.75. So let's say, let's add another chart. Let's draw a horizontal line. Let's mark this as support. Then let's click on explore. There. You'll see that the percentage to support is negative 4.74. Then resistance. This AFL is good if you are manually plotting the levels of support and resistance. And you can easily check once the price is near support or if it breaks out of the resistance. So let's say, let's make this resistance. So if it broke out of the resistance, you'll see that the value becomes negative. So the output will only show Ali and IMI. Since it's the only chart, we place the value of SU and RA. So we filtered only those charts with a value of SU and RA. But if we remove this one and let's say, let's make it number 1, filter 1, and click on explore, all the names will show up.